Hi everyone, Comic Reviewer here. This time reviewing on the Super Friends issue number 30. Now, as you know, Super Friends was meant to be a show created by Hanna-Barbera that was like the Justice League, except called the Super Friends, and the show lasted well and through to the late 80s. And the cover mainly has the Justice League getting ready to take on Gorilla Grodd, who turns someone into an ape. And the story starts off with a sort of ape saying, "I've come here because I need your help. Moons of Krypton, a gorilla. What in Hera's name is it doing here?" So it kind of turns out that the gorilla isn't from Gorilla City, but instead is Professor Nichols, who is meant to be the guardian of the Wonder Twins, and points out what happened to him. He was pretty much doing his work, ended up getting blasted by a gorilla's ray gun that turned him into a gorilla. And it's even pointed out by Batman that since Professor Nichols was basically allowed access to the Justice League because of a DNA scan or so. So they pretty much point out that Grodd is behind this and try and figure out why he's doing this, and at the same time was meant to kind of be in a escape-proof cell, which the Flash told them about. And of course they get ready to intervene. We see how Grodd and Giganta are working together. And it turns out in the comic book version, Giganta is supposed to be an ape that was turned into a human. Now, in the Super Friends cartoon, she was a person who passed by a Apache chief and his grandfather stole some magic power and became giants. And they're working together to sort of frame the Justice League and bring them down. And Gorilla Grodd and that are working on a ray to try and turn her back to normal. With them saying, "Grodd is so handsome. He could never care for me while I'm human. I admire her mind, but if only she weren't so hideously human." So they pretty much have her disguised as Wonder Woman to make the gorillas think that she's foe. And of course, they able to get fooled with one of them turning human. And them saying, "Look at me. How horrible I look. She has turned you into a human. And now it's fleeing and laughing." So we kind of see how Zorovar is let know by the others that one of them got turned into a human. So the Justice League get ready to sort of get into action, and turns out Superman can only see Gorilla City from his vision, and of course learns from the gorillas that Wonder Woman turned one of them into a human. And of course this is where it goes out of control, where the other gorillas want revenge. So Zorovar says, "Stop, let us talk. We must settle this without violence." And so the Wonder Twins activate their powers. And we see how Grodd and Giganta are looking on the monitor, seeing how the apes are going to kill the Super Friends. And we see Robin saying, "Here comes King Kong's kid brothers. Then let's give them a royal welcome. A flying ape. What won't I think of next? I prefer the old flying kicking." And we kind of see how Aquaman is able to get moist thanks to Zan and able to regain his strength. And of course we see Superman and Wonder Woman pounding up the apes, and Gleek managing to tie up one of the apes. We see how Wonder Woman's able to tie them up, and we see how Zorovar is let know that Grodd escaped, and shows them to the cell, with Superman pointing out that one of the apes is in there, with Zorovar saying, "But how is that possible?" And we see how it turns out that Grodd managed to escape by a redhead female human, and who's Giganta, and Wonder Woman also points out that Giganta escaped Reformed Island some time back and figured out they're working together. So we see how Grodd learns to his dismay that the Super Friends have figured out their plan, and we see how Gargano wants to quickly turn back to human until the Super Friends intervene. So we kind of see how Superman makes short work of Grodd, and so does Wonder Woman. And after this, they plan to return them back to their cells, and Batman planning to use the ray to turn the ape as well as Nichols back to normal, and Robin having a go at Superman for not letting him have a go at taking down the villains. So we kind of see how Superman plays good sport and lets him do it next time. And yeah, this is the story. So I feel this story is basic. Again, this is meant to be based on the Super Friends cartoon. They're not going to pull any bigger hits, but still going to pull back some punches. And I think the story would have been interesting for an episode of Super Friends. So I think this story definitely deserves a thumbs up. Still good, and still alright. So, Comic Reviewer here, signing out.